Hey there, it's EnderVerse, and oh boy, 8 months since I posted a Forge Mods episode. Don't worry friend, the ship is still moving, and today we're back for good and showcasing 20 mods as a part of the greatest Forge mods of all time. Now let's dive into the video. Starting the list with the Integrated Dungeons and Structures mod. Here the author did not create new content. Instead, they used new blocks from massive content mods to create incredible structures. What I loved about the mod is how cleverly the author used the blocks in constructing these structures. The shading and placement of the blocks were spot on. There are tiny abundant structures, moderately big structures, and giant establishments too. These structures are quite sufficient in terms of rooms and hallways. So yeah, you can check them at your own pace if you are too lazy to build one. In addition, you will also be getting lots of modded items and tools, few of which can be hard to obtain, so that's a plus. When coming across tiny structures, my performance was as good as always. However, when facing one of the bigger types, my FPS plummeted, though they confusingly were back to normal as soon as they removed the shaders. This mod is best utilized in large mod packs, as it will bring together the content of the mod pack, creating a cohesive and an immersive experience in the process. This next mod, Patchouli, doesn't do anything on its own. However, it is used as a dependency on some popular mods such as Terraformacraft and Botania, allowing the author to create an in-game roadmap and guide for the players to follow through. There's also this mod called Lexicon, which instead explains everything about the vanilla game, lest you are a newbie and not interested in big mods yet. One of the mod's most useful features is being able to visualize structures and contraptions. There's also a bar on top of the screen, indicating how much progress has been made. This mod will rid you of having to open a wiki tab on a browser, as you will have access to an interactive wiki in-game, one that is clearer and keeps you enjoying the mod, as there will be less confusion. This is a skill system mod, providing an interactive style of leveling up your character skills. The fun thing about Project MMO is that each block you mine, step you walk, or mob you kill is considered progress. No big challenges to grind over, just play the game more and you will become better by the minute. There are even special abilities such as vein mining. This skill is configurable and can't be abused as it needs recharging. One thing I found annoying about the mod are the fireworks that happen each time you progress. You progress quite fast in this mod, so consequently they happen so often. Also, I would like to suggest that the author design special icons for the skills. Currently the skill list is just some text with different colors. This mod is one of the few projects that motivates you to do simple things in Minecraft like jogging, swimming, mining and more. Following up, we have Archer's Paradox, which is a mod adding 18 new arrows to the game, all craftable with vanilla materials. There are powerful types of arrows like the TNG variant, the Lightning variant, and the Blaze variant, along with arrows that possess unique abilities, like the Verdant arrow that enlivens nature, and the Spore arrow which summons mycelium grass with few mushrooms on the surface. The mod is sadly underdeveloped, though it has a lot of potential and creative ideas that the author could harness. I know of a mod called Extra Arrows. It is better maintained and has more arrows. However, I included the Archer's Paradox in particular due to its seniority in the community. Atmospheric is a world generation mod which has rich and diversified biomes. There are 16 new biomes, however all of which are derived from two main types of climates, the dunes and the rainforests. As I mentioned, these habitats are rich in new blocks and wild plants, and there's even a new insect. Both the insect and the wild plants can emit special visual effects, giving life to this place and beautifying it along the way. The amount of structures here is tiny, only 3 in total. However, they are quite valuable, having loot chests with new items and foods too. The mod is terrific as is. However, I would love it if it had some new mobs that you can tame or equipment to forge using the new items. Atmospheric has been stuck on an older version for way too long. Recently it was updated to 1.20.1, which in turn allowed many modpack developers to consider this mod for world-gen improvement. Forbidden and Arcanus is a witchcraft mod. The most noticeable change within the mod is nature. There are new trees, herbs, and ores. All are useful in one way or another. The special thing about the mod is how most of the magical utilities are geared towards easing day-to-day vanilla activities such as farming, transporting mobs, and combat. The mod also came with better endgame equipment, from armors, weapons, and tools. They are quite expensive to make. We're talking dragon heads as crafting ingredients for these equipment. Furthermore, the Forbidden and Arcanus mod monitors your behaviors, rendering you insane if you start killing innocent mobs. When crazed, you won't see anything ahead, and you will be teased with scary sounds here and there. If you'd like to redeem yourself, simply wash away the dirt with soup. The mod goes on to add a lot of complex and well-designed rituals surrounding the forging of new materials. This is a great mod, and it's rarely, if ever, do we get magical mods complementing the vanilla game. Inventory pits adds a few new items designed to look like vanilla mobs, along with some other Easter eggs. Those items can defend you, actively and passively, along with striking back viciously. Enhancing your movement is also something these pets can do, making you swim faster, walk on lava, or even climb walls. The pets can easily be crafted with vanilla materials. However, I suggest that the author puts 1 or 2 crafting recipes on the mod page, so that people get encouraged to install the mod. This is a legendary mod, and has been showcased by giants such as the TDM and popular MMOs. In addition, the mod is still updating habitually 10 years after it was released. In keeping with the vanilla-ish mods, we have Apotheosis, a mod improving many base game mechanics. Things like enchanting items, for instance, have changed entirely, from dedicated bars governing the randomness, rareness, and strength of the item, to enchanting things that weren't enchantable before, like the cheers, to different new bookshelves which influence all the latcher and more. The element of exploration and challenge was also improved, with new dungeons housing stronger types of mobs, up to difficult bosses that you can fight. The mod continues to get better, making the fletching table operational, along with improving the wares of the wandering trader. As you progress in Apotheosis mod, you will start harnessing magic and setting up complex rituals like carrying gems and reforging. The mod is quite large, however there is a guidebook in-game that will keep you on track and making progress. DimensionalDoors is yet another legendary mod on the list, adding in a bunch of naturally occurring doors in your world, each one leading to some void-like dimension. And it's like a box of chocolate. You don't know what you'll get before you open it. You can also craft some of these doors, even starting your own chain of interdimensional stations in the process. For a newbie like myself, one can easily get lost jumping from one door to another. You may even find yourself stranded in the limbo dimension. So tread carefully. This is an awesome mod to add a sprinkle of mystery and suspense into Minecraft. Advanced Chimneys is a realistic mod, making furnaces and other cooking blocks emit a smoke that interacts with the surrounding space and even wind. You can vent the smoke out of your kitchen using the chimneys. Some are made out of stone, others made out of bricks, and a type of chimneys in particular is even transparent, being crafted with glass. This functionality allows for infinite creativity when it comes to venting out the smoke, and may even enhance the scenery of some buildings, especially those that resemble the Industrial Revolution. When mixed with the pollution realism mod, the smoke becomes a toxic and dangerous particle, which makes ventilation not only fun, but necessary. As you expand your operations, burning more and more materials, you may cause air pollution and climate change as a result, so be responsible. This mod is very cool, and especially for industrial mod packs, adding a touch of realism and increasing immersion as a result. When it comes to combat, the Celestisynth mod gets it done, as it offers arguably the most engaging and vicious battles you could find in a mod. To obtain these armors and weapons, you must first go explore the caves, the overworld, and the nether for the base materials. I'll leave a showcase by Karen Feng. He went over all the details. Each weapon here has a normal melee attack, and a special magical attack that is triggered by right-clicking. Some weapons can give you passive effects like a jump boost with fresh animations, others can instead trade distraction with your lifespan, and if you are crazy enough, you may release an absolute abomination with some of these weapons. The mod also presents new mobs and bosses to fight. Their quality is immaculate, and their attacking patterns are unique. Amongst other attacks, this boss, for example, can drag and push you away aggressively. Out of all the RPG mods I've played before, this has to be the most intense and one of the best in terms of the production. cramped inventories has been a dire issue for vanilla players, and an even worse issue for modders, since there were more items to collect. The TrashSlot was the first mod to mitigate this problem, adding a dedicated slot in your inventory which you can use to disperse any unnecessary items. Clicking the delete button while hovering over items will instantly erase them, making things even more efficient. There is a tiny chance that you may trash something necessary while cleaning up the inventory, so be careful and don't operate on autopilot. Most of your friends already know about this mod, but as established earlier, this series isn't about unknown mods, it's about 4 greatest mods of all time, and this mod fits the criteria pretty well. However, if you want unknown and underrated mods, here is a series dedicated just for that. Everyone, we have a classic on the list. The Betweenlands is a mod that added 1 dimension and has been developing it since 2016. This place is a swampy forest with a thick layer of fog narrowing your view of anything ahead, which is disastrous. As we will learn in a moment, this place is quite dangerous and has all sorts of surprises in store for you. The Betweenlands houses many mutant mobs, both winged and legged creatures. Their design reflects their surroundings, with mushrooms growing on their bodies, along with their flesh being dark and rotten. In keeping with the mobs, you can recruit them using this ring. While recruited, the mobs can be ruled around, told where to go and who to kill. Although it won't be much of a use when fighting the bosses within the mod. The dreadful peach mummy is one such example, surrounding itself with cohorts and pulling you to your death at every chance possible. The boss fight was quite engaging, and the dreadful peach mummy has its own soundtrack. There's also this mini-boss called the Barishi. The battle here is so much more exciting in my opinion. The animations, sound quality, and the overall atmosphere is surreal, and it also has its own boss fight music too. If you made out of this place alive, you can go home with some powerful equipment like the wood bow, ancient armors, and ancient weapons too. The Betweenlands being a 1.12 mod only can be devastating, but looking at the content here, it is safe to say that it is an entirely different world in of itself, needing no other mods to be enjoyed. Stalwart Dungeons is a special world gen mod on the list. There is no way of locating these dungeons in-game, so I'll be reviewing whatever I find. The mod only added 2 structures for the Nether, and 1 for the End, totaling 3 structures. These dungeons contain new mobs, some of which are derived from vanilla mobs like a dual-headed wither skeleton and a drowned shulker as well. These dungeons also contain end-game bosses. However, this time most of them are entirely different from vanilla mobs, except for the Awful Ghast. These structures can be dangerous, crawling with traps and obtrusive effects like the Spore. However, you can harness some of these effects and blocks and create others from scratch like the Teleporter. Just like the mod before it, Stalwart Dungeons rewards its players quite handsomely upon survival. Here you get to have an anti-burning and withering armors, sour hammers, and more. I love the mod very much. However, some bosses can be overpowered. At times they may even one-shoot players. For newcomers, this can simply be devastating, so I guess some warnings or weakening may solve this inconvenience. This next mod is similar to mods such as MCA Reborn in that it adds human NPCs. However, when it comes to the functionality, it's more like the Villager Recruits mod. Human Companions mod adds different kinds of NPCs that you can come across and hire through satiating their hunger. The recruited NPCs can be useful in many ways, some of which is passively guarding your base, raiding with you, or carrying items for you. The Human Companions can be equipped with the necessary armament for war. They even warn you if there are creepers nearby, though they are smart enough not to engage, they just run away. The guards can be fit to remain healthy and alive, and you can also hover over their inventory and decide their behaviors. The Guardians get tougher the more battles they win, so your army will have a hierarchy of strength. The NPCs that killed the most enemies are the most powerful as a result. This mod is well maintained and is an excellent RPG mod as well, so it was a decent fit for this series. Another OG mod is Exotic Birds. This is a mod containing 30 birds, of which derives a bunch of other species. So, in total, it's 100 different bird species added to the game. The birds have their own ecosystem within the game, spawning in different biomes, and leave in nests containing their eggs. You can grab one and hatch it in an incubator if you want a personal bird pet. If you decided to hatch a bird, it is necessary to have a cage so that the bird is prevented from flying away. Other birds, however, can be ridden like the phoenix species and the ostrich. You can learn all about these birds through the Bird Encyclopedia, an easy to craft item which will list all 100 birds with their eggs, tempting items, and even taming items if they are tameable. This is a certified hot classic. However, if you prefer playing on Fabric instead, I know a new mod called Foul Play. It has better animations if you prioritize visuals, and special features as well. Between the two, it really comes down to preference which one you choose. This mod and the one after it are made by the same author, so you will want to tune in. Enlightend is a mod adding a few biomes to the Nth dimension. These biomes have been maximized in terms of the quality. They have their own ambient sounds, special visual and practical effects, new mobs, and naturally new blocks and foliage. The author even introduced weather events to the end. Currently, there is only one, that being the Oz rain, but it is enough to overhaul this place and reimagine the mood around the Nth dimension. The biomes are but a few, and from what I can see, they were only meant to paint and enliven existing Nth terrain, rather than completely overhauling it. When it comes to downsides, I would say it's closer to perfection. Now hear me out. Not many mods hit the sweet spot when it comes to adding new biomes. Some do too much, others are nearly invisible. And don't get me wrong, I respect both approaches. However, this mod scratches both sides, keeping intrusion to a minimum along with maximizing utility and immersion around the small acres of biomes it adds. In that, it is a perfectly balanced mod. Now to the other mod by the same author, and one of the last mods for this episode sadly, Netherific. This project, on the other hand, added no biomes at all. Instead, it was geared towards polishing and improving existing biomes in the game. This has been done through adding extra blocks, sprouting out more foliage in otherwise deserted biomes like Soul Sand Valley, along with being able to craft new tools and weapons through some of these new materials. Furthermore, the mod added new blocks, over 50 in fact, along with introducing new potions and foods, expanding your diet in the process. Some conclusion could be made about this mod. It is simply a sweet spot, and in combination with mods such as Nether Expansion, it can grow even better. Stargate Journey mod took a different approach at space exploration. The mod dropped the rockets and the astronaut equipment, and instead added special new portals spread across the world. To activate any of these portals, it's no straightforward process. It requires special addresses to unlock. However, an easy way to retrieve all of these addresses is to simply write this command. The activation of the portal is terrific. The sounds of the portal moving and the parts locking in is so satisfying. Once the portal fully activates, it will have this incredible animation where the portal beam skews back and forth before stabilizing. The dimensions that you can travel to are surprisingly simple looking, nothing absurd or alien, and no equipment is needed to survive here. There are a bunch of new items and equipment to collect as well, so it's not like this dimension is a mere sightseeing trip. The Stargate Journey mod, similar to the DimensionalDoors mod, would be a very important asset in any RPG mod pack, promoting mystery and interdimensional travel. The last mod in this episode is Toast Control, and this one is especially dear to me as I create a lot of new worlds as a part of my job. The mod makes it so that the toasts are no longer intruding on your gameplay every time you obtain a new block or advance in some way. For vanilla newcomers, you probably need those toasts, so keep them on. But if you are a person who loves discovering things by yourself, or just play a lot of mods and don't settle in one world as a result, then this mod is the mod for you. Thanks for watching. As you may have picked up from the title, there are 2 more episodes you can watch now, containing 40 more mods. Like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe to not miss any future episodes. And I'll see ya in the next one, my friend.